Welcome to Kiss the Reviews. I'm Armando. That's Corey. And today we're doing 1992's Home Alone 2, Lost in New York. And since it's the 23rd, 2 days before Christmas, we got some Christmas movies out of the way already. We got a couple more, Home Alone 2 being one of those, Scrooged, I believe, being the last one we'll do. This is 2 days before Christmas, so Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, Happy Holiday, Kwanzaa, whatever the hell you celebrate. Happy that. Cool. But before we get into this movie, if you want to follow me or Corey on Twitter, you can follow me at Junior D's. You can follow Corey at Corey_idol. And if you want to follow the show, you can follow the show on both Twitter and Instagram at Kiss the Reviews. Let's get into the cast of 1992's Home Alone 2. This film stars Macaulay Culkin reprising his role as Kevin, Joe Pesci as Harry, Daniel Stern as Marv, Catherine O'Hara as Kate, and John Hurd as Peter.
You're also leaving out one giant one who personally makes the movie for me, and that is Mr. Tim Curry. Sir Tim Curry.
Yes. Pennywise was in this film as concierge.
And he was phenomenal.
He was fantastic. Rob Schneider decided to take a break from conspiracy theories to make an appearance in this one. There's a couple of appearances, and who can forget Uncle Frank reprising his role as the biggest douchebag in this movie.
Yeah, I'll just say this since you're bringing it up.
Corey's life lessons.
Hi, Uncle Franks. Uncle Corey here. I don't have children, but even I know, don't threaten to slap the shit out of 10-year-old kids.
Get out of here, you nosy little pervert, or I'm gonna slap you silly.
Their parents will kill you.
Yes.
Don't do that.
Yes.
Bad
100%.
idea.
And also, don't talk about your dicks to little kids either.
He says if I walked in there and saw him naked, I'd grow up never feeling like a real man.
That's also a no-no. That's
it is?
Yes, if you didn't know.
I got to make some calls. I'll be right back.
But let's get into the beginning of this movie because I got a lot from Jump Street on this one. And FYI, I do like this movie, but there's a lot of shit that really pisses me off in this movie. And we'll start with the opening scene, which is the McAllister family getting ready to go to Florida for Christmas. Kevin isn't happy about going because there's no Christmas trees in Florida. And we also get a shot of Uncle Frank showering with the door open, but Kevin's the pervert. You're showering with, you make the thing about like, hey, don't come. And why are you telling Kevin? There's 400 people in the McAllister household, but you decided to pick out Kevin like, don't come in the bathroom while I'm taking a shower because you know what? You'll never be able to live up to what? To live up to a bald, chubby, fucking old ass man? Why? Because you have a giant dick? Good job, Uncle Frank. You know what? I wanted Uncle Frank to slip and fall and crack his head on the side of the tub, and that's how this movie begins and ends. They never go to Florida. And by the way, there are Christmas trees in Florida, so suck a D.
Yeah, there is that bitch. But yeah, Frank's character arc through both of these movies has been just piece of shit.
Yes.
And he maintains it's not even an arc, it's just a steady line.
The entire McAllister family are just giant pieces of shit.
And that's what my big beef is, because we go from this scene to them going to the big concert where Kevin has his solo, Buzz is making fun of him, and is clearly the one who fucks everything up. It's not Kevin, because Kevin retaliates by pushing him, and he fucking falls, and everybody falls down in the choir, and there's this big uproar. They get home. I know I'm doing your job right now. Buzz gives this heartfelt apology. He's so eloquent and responsible and even-keeled. And then Kevin is, all right, Kevin, now it's your turn. Apologize to everyone. Fuck you. You're teaching me not to defend myself. And if I do, I'm actually in the wrong. That's how little kids get kidnapped, yo.
This is where I was like, two things. One, Kevin chastising his family, like literally, because normally in these movies, like again, if you want to go back and watch Dennis the Menace, I'm not a huge fan of like kids and mischief in these comedies. They give me anxiety. But Kevin here, get into all the mischief you want, you motherfucker, because you're the fucking OG in this family. He was like, fuck you, you're not cool, fuck you too. He crushes everybody in his family. And you know what?
What?
Fuck these gaslighting pieces of shit in his family. They gaslight the fuck out of Kevin in this scene. Dude, the minute Kevin starts going off on his family, I'm like, you're goddamn right. These gaslighting pieces of shit in your family, ugh, disgusting. Disgusting. Every one of them.
Hell yes.
This is my problem with a lot of sequels. He's still not given the benefit of the doubt in anything. You survived on your own while your family literally forgot you 1 year ago.
Yes.
And since then, 365 days, they've forgotten almost all of it, other than the fact that it's a silly anecdote they bring up every now and again.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely.
It's like, dude, this kid is not your average fucking kid. Let's not treat him like he's, you know, the little scumbag piece of shit we did a year ago.
Yep. And
then they still threaten him like, well, you know, if you don't apologize, you sleep upstairs.
Fine. I don't want to be down there anyway. I can't trust anybody in this family.
Guess what? I'm a year older now. Guess what else is a year older? This dick. And I'm going to be touching it all night long.
We get to the next day, and the family almost misses the airport express, like, little shuttle because Kevin's parents, who are the real pieces of shit, his dad unplugs the alarm clock because apparently they're the only ones that have an alarm set. 7,000 people in this house. They're the only fucking adults that actually have an alarm clock. You pieces of shit. Where's Uncle Frank? And by the way, why are all these goddamn adults sleeping until like noon? What are we doing here?
I don't care for your choice of words.
Look, this movie should be shown to support the federal government providing birth control to people.
Yes.
Because this is what happens. You have 14 people staying in this house.
Yep.
I've stayed in bed and breakfasts with less fucking people in the house.
Yes.
And like you said, none of them are responsible for anything on their own.
They're not even responsible for wearing a condom because the McAllister family, the adults, like to fuck all of them.
Yeah, dude. Like, this made me wonder, like, how many times has Philip Rivers, like, home aloned one of his kids? Because that's what happens when you're just, like,
when you
banging it out and you have 7 kids on each side of the family.
Yeah.
That's crazy. This isn't the Old West. 4 of them aren't going to die, so you just need as many as you can get.
Yes.
That's insane.
So they make it to the airport, and this time Kevin's with them, but by the time they get to the airport, they're late for the plane. They're running through the airport. Kevin falls behind, and when he looks up, he mistakes one man for his dad, follows him to another plane headed for New York.
All because Kevin has to change the batteries in the boom box of a Walkman he has? Walkmans had been out. I'm pretty sure I had a Discman when Home Alone 2 came out. Why do you have this giant contraption? That's insane. That's over. That by itself is over the weight limit for a carry-on bag in an airplane. They would have made you check that.
Dude, the boom boxes in Breakin' 2 Electric Boogaloo were smaller. Kevin then is on the plane. He lands in New York, but doesn't know where he is. So after landing in Florida, the McAllister family finally realizes they've lost Kevin again. And also, Kevin has the family's money and credit cards because he needed batteries in the airport for his giant fucking boombox. Corey's life lessons.
Hi, dads. Uncle Corey here. Don't put all of your money and your credit cards into something that is not your person. That should be on you.
Yes.
That is it's clearly more important than your kids, because you've forgotten your kids twice. You've only forgotten your money once.
Yes.
So keep that shit on your person. Money gets you out of a lot of situations.
Yes.
That should always be on you. Much like having an ID. That should always be on you. That's ridiculous that you just are. And then to go a step further and to let your kid root through a bag in a busy airport to find batteries in the same place where you have an open envelope full of cash.
Yes.
You literally deserved everything that happened to you here, Mr. McAllister.
After asking the airline attendant where he is, Kevin realizes he's in New York by himself, and we get a montage of him enjoying New York City, cutting to Florida, where Kevin's parents report him missing to the police. They call the Chicago airport. Nobody can find him. And then Kevin's dad figures out here that his wallet and credit cards are missing as well. So they put the cancel on the credit cards and yada, yada.
This is weird to me, too, because Kevin, and I know he grows up in a suburb of Chicago, so fine. And he's also faced down the wet bandits. Fine. But he's like, I'm alone on Christmas in New York City. And he does his little eyebrow thing. At that age, that was not a good prospect for me.
No.
I was terrified of New York City until I was like, I don't know, 28? Like,
yeah.
And even then I walked around like with my butt cheeks clenched the whole time. I don't understand why he's so excited about being in New York City right then.
I think it's just
by himself.
I think it's just my gaslighting shithole people of a family aren't with me. It could have been New York. It could have been Chicago.
It's just
it could have been somewhere in Missouri. And he would have been like, dude, me in Missouri, what? Like, he would have been happy wherever the fuck his plane landed.
Right.
And we also see the wet bandits here who have escaped from prison, and they find themselves in New York City because they got on like a fish truck, and Marv's got a tape hand, so he's the sticky bandit. And this is the one thing that I didn't like about this movie. I love both of these guys as actors, but you didn't have to have Marv and Harry in the second one.
I suppose not.
And again, wet bandits, sticky bandits, I'm putting my hand in the change, and now I'm just taking scarves and hats and shit. Like, not for me. I just didn't find it. I didn't find it funny.
No, this is where we verge into I think the problem you and I have with almost any comedy out there, which is you start putting the sound effects on it, and he's swoop and zip.
Yeah.
When it's just like, Jesus fucking, I know this is a kid's movie, but your main character is a kid. That's where the adults are supposed to provide the adult humor. And the kid reacting to the adult humor is what's funny to the kids.
Yes.
That's how you make a comedy with a kid as a main character. This, you're almost reversing it. Like,
yeah, Kevin's the adult.
Is the adult.
Yeah.
And he's the one doing all the things that the adults are laughing at. And the kids are all laughing at Harry and Marv and zip, boop. It's hyperbolic, obviously, but it's still based in a realism. You're still putting Kevin into real life adult situations.
Yes, absolutely.
So now you bring in this, and having it be slapstick is one thing. Daniel Stern's a great physical comedian when you get to the end of the movie. And Joe Pesci's obviously Joe Pesci. He's going to do what he does. So you don't need that added vaudevillian whoop, zip, woo.
Yeah.
Fuck that shit. I'm not reading a comic book.
Yeah.
That's not what this is.
After wandering into Central Park, Kevin goes to the Plaza Hotel using a tape recorder. He tapes a message and slows his voice down, placing a hotel reservation, which sounds like a serial killer, like Buffalo Bill is trying to book a room at the Plaza Hotel.
I'd like to book a room for a great big fat girl.
I'd like a hotel room, please, with an extra large bed.
Kevin then goes to the front desk where he convinces the clerk that his father sent him to check in with his credit card. And the concierge nearby, Pennywise, is suspicious of Kevin. And later that night, he goes into Kevin's room to check to see if the dad is there or some crazy shit like that. But Kevin fools him into thinking that he walked in on his father in the shower, causing Pennywise to run away and whatever.
One, because he's obsessed with Kevin immediately.
Yes.
And I get it. You're Pennywise the clown. You want to make Kevin float. Fair enough. But like when he walks through the hotel, he's obsessed with him immediately. And like, again, you're a concierge at the Plaza Hotel. This isn't a Motel 6.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And you're breaking into a guest room?
Yes.
While you know the guest is there, whether or not you think it's a kid or something kooky, it doesn't matter. You don't do that. You have security go check.
Yes.
You make calls up to the room. But you don't do that.
This is also the Plaza Hotel. I'm sure you in New York City. This isn't in fucking Saskatchewan. Like, this is a major hotel in New York City that I'm sure a lot of very rich people stay there, get rooms, and are never in there because they're business, and their kids are in the fucking... I'm sure that happens all the fucking time.
There's a cameo of an orange guy cheating on his wife. They didn't even shoot it in his own hotel. Yes, the Plaza is very busy. Very expensive. It's like the Waldorf from like Coming to America if you don't know your New York area hotels. That's a big time place to go.
You were correct. It's fact.
Not only that, but him seeing that somebody's in a hotel room shower, singing and dancing, he's just sitting there watching. Cool as shit.
Yep.
Like, wait a second. Is that a guy singing in the shower? Oh, I can't even believe it. Get the fuck out of here, dude. The second you realize that an adult is in that hotel room, you're turning around and running the fuck out. And I know because I've broken into a lot of children's hotel rooms.
But the next day, Pennywise tries to make it up to Kevin and arranges for a limo and a pizza. And then while Kevin is out, he obviously wasn't trying to make it up to him because he then double checks the credit card that was used and finds that it was reported stolen. So Kevin takes the limo to the Duncan toy chest store. He buys some stuff there. And he gets into this conversation with the old man at the register who explains that all the sales go to the children's hospital from that day. And Kevin donates $20 and he's given the 2 turtle doves ornament as a gift. Corey's life lessons.
I got a couple PSAs in here. My first one is this. Hi, limo drivers. Uncle Corey here. If you get yourself into a Home Alone situation where a spoiled little shit is sitting in the back of a car eating a cheese pizza and pouring himself Coke in champagne glasses, and he asks you for a good toy store, you don't go to Duncan's fucking toy chest. You go to FAO Schwartz, you dumb fuck. You're in New York. What are you doing?
Hey, he's just trying to support, small local businesses.
Ah, that's very sweet of you.
Hi, toy store owners, old men, whatever you may be. I don't know, the combination of both perhaps. When you want to do something nice for a kid Kevin's age, you don't let him pick any tree ornament he can off of your tiny bullshit charity tree Charlie Brown thing you got sitting up on the shelf. Everything he had, it was like 2 turtle doves and then like a bell. And all of them were made by Duncan's grandkids. They're just white plaster shit.
Yes.
Like, oh my God. Like, you're such a thoughtful young man giving up this money that you say you earned to this charity for nobody you know, a kid your age doing that. Here's some turtle doves. That doesn't make me want to further my charitable donations in the future, Duncan. That makes me think charity's a bunch of bullshit, and I'm not participating ever again.
Outside of the toy store, Marv and Harry see Kevin. Kevin hears Harry's voice, screams, and runs away. He heads back to the Plaza Hotel, runs up to the concierge. Kevin asks for help, but Pennywise confiscates Kevin's credit card, yells at him, tries to spank him or something, and says he'll report him to the police. And then Kevin takes off running again and goes into the hotel, gets away from the staff, and goes up to his room. Corey's life lessons.
Hi, all hotel concierge. I don't know what the plural is, but fuck it. I don't care.
Sounds right to me.
To the group of you, the lot of you. When a little kid comes up to you and says, help me, 2 people are chasing me, don't be like, ha, because you stole their credit card. Just fucking help the kid get away from the kidnapping first.
Yes.
Let's start there, and then you can exact your justice, because, I don't know, it makes you feel powerful to catch 10-year-olds in the act.
Yes. Well, he wanted to take the credit card and then take him to the basement of the hotel because they all float down there. So.
That's right. But it does have a nominal fee.
I mean, fuck. Even Pennywise, the dancing clown, would have helped Kevin first before, like, he murdered him.
Exactly.
When Kevin gets up to his room, he packs his things, heads out an emergency exit, and then to the loading dock where he runs into Harry and Marv again.
And this is where the movie just gets steadily dark. And I don't mean the light.
Yeah.
I mean, like, he's homeless in New York.
Yes.
For an undetermined amount of time.
Yes.
I don't know how many days pass, because honestly, this is also when the movie just fucking drags.
Yes. And I mean, it is a 2-hour movie.
Mm-hmm.
But there's so many scenes where it was just like, this is Home Alone 1. This is the first one.
Oh,
like
100%.
Him in the hotel room playing the old movie.
Merry Christmas, you filthy animal.
The first one's funny because it's a pizza man behind a closed door who's also a fucking idiot kid, right? Like, he's not going to know. He's just there to deliver his pizza, and then all this shit's taking place.
Yeah.
And it's quick and it's fast and boom, boom, boom. This is where, like, you've been smooching my brother. No, I haven't. You've been smooching everybody. Little Tony, Cliff, and then, Cliff is the old man. Ha, ha, ha. You're all adults.
Yes.
You all hold, like, responsible jobs, full-time jobs that you're responsible for very rich people.
Yes.
You're smooching little Mo. That's what fooled you? Really?
I believe you.
They find Kevin. They kidnap Kevin. And then as they're walking, they talk about how they plan to rob Duncan's toy store that night. And then Kevin escapes from them by grabbing some woman's ass. And then he runs into Central Park and hides in a horse-drawn carriage and gets taken off. They don't find him, so they just leave. And it's basically like, and again, the darkness of the writing here. They literally say, grown men don't come out of Central Park alive. That kid's fucked. I'm paraphrasing, obviously, but that's literally like, he's going to get murdered in Central Park, so we're good. On with the plan to rob the toy store thing. Like,
oh, yeah, look, dude, in real life, fucking
McAllister
Kevin
gets
McCallister is getting sold to Epstein's sex island.
100%.
There's a whole thing. It's gross. That's what's happening in real life.
Yeah. One of the hookers in Central Park that he passes by when it's like dark and scary times is literally like, that kid's really cute. Let's take him to our pimp Carl. And now he's a sex slave.
Yeah, you basically get turned into Jodie Foster in Taxi Driver at this point.
Yeah, absolutely. So we then cut to back in Florida. The local police call the McAllisters, tell them that Kevin used the credit card in New York. So the family packs and heads to New York. That night, Kevin goes to his Uncle Rob's house, but finds that it's under renovation. He then goes back to Central Park, sees the old pigeon lady from earlier that he ran into, and he's scared initially, but then realizes that she means no harm to him. And then they just basically hang out here and talk about their life stories. They philosophize in the rafters at Carnegie Hall.
Makes sense. Easy to break into Carnegie Hall and just get into non-accessible areas.
Yes.
Makes perfect sense that Pigeon Lady would be able to do that. You know why? Because the pigeons just hang up out there anyway.
Yeah.
They all attach their claws to her fucking skirt and they fly her up there like Mary fucking Poppins. And get the fuck out of here, man.
What I love about the Pigeon Lady character is that she's homeless She's the pigeon lady, and all the pigeons follow her, and she feeds the pigeons. She has no mental illness. She's just like, my husband just fell out of love with me, and now I just decided I'll be homeless. I'm just this nice old lady that likes to feed the pigeons, yeah? And you're just a boy, and we're going to talk. She's murdering him behind a dumpster and selling his organs to the other scary people in Central Park.
Yeah! And then Kevin giving her advice. Like, oh, I can relate to that because of this small fucking inconvenience that happened in my life. Like, dude, I'm telling you while I'm homeless. And you're yeah, I know. My brother didn't flush the toilet once, and I got real steamed and wanted to leave the house.
I wanted rollerblades real bad, and then I didn't use them. So use your heart, lady. Because your heart's like rollerblades and shit.
Well, they're kind of the same thing.
I hate Uncle Frank, but Kevin needs to get slapped. Like,
I hope Uncle Frank.
Stop trying to fucking relate to me, Kevin. You're 10.
I hope Uncle Frank dies of heart disease. Fuck that guy.
Oh, he will, while beating Kevin, so everybody wins.
So Kevin here leaves the pigeon lady and sees the children's hospital close by. And then he remembers Harry and Marv's plan to rob the toy store. So he decides to stop them before they could steal the money. Kevin goes back to his uncle's house, sets up booby traps throughout. And then Kevin goes to the Duncan toy store where he sees Harry and Marv emptying the cash register through the window. He gets their attention and then breaks the window and sets off the alarm.
Can I ask you a question before we go any further?
You can ask me plenty of questions.
Oh, thank you. What kind of renovation is happening at his uncle's house?
I don't know
because that house is a booby trap in and of itself. It's
Kevin didn't have to do anything.
Trashed. Dude, it looks like the Warriors went in there and robbed it. Dude, like, it is destroyed. Okay.
Renovations is one thing, but like, there had to have been a house fire in that house because there's floors missing. And not like, oh, the boards were weak, so we cut a square here because we're going to replace it's like jagged edges, like a wrecking ball fell through the roof and then all the way into the basement.
Yeah, dude, like this is the vacant they fucking popped Dookie behind in The Wire.
That's absolutely it. After Kevin breaks the window, sets off the alarm, he leads Harry and Marv back to the house where he ambushes Harry and Marv for about 15 total minutes of screen time.
He murders Daniel Stern in about the first 30 seconds here.
He murders both of these guys. And again, and I know we did Jingle All the Way. I'm sure there'll be other movies that we do moving forward. What's with bombs blowing up in dudes' faces, but not spraying their brains everywhere? And by the way, with Stern's character here, hitting the head with a brick 1 time, 2 times, 3 times. He gets hit in the head with 17 bricks during this whole fucking situation. Pesci gets his head lit on fire again. Just the amount of abuse that they take is astronomical.
It's absolutely insane. Like the first brick crushes Daniel Stern. This is how the movie ends. Kevin goes whoop, and the brick goes crack, and Daniel Stern dies on the ground with Joe Pesci going, "Fuck this shit," and he runs away. And then Kevin starts his career as Jigsaw. Because this kind of shit is insanity. Yes. Like we joked about it when we reviewed Home Alone 1 about how, the fan theory that he turns into Jigsaw.
Yes.
This supports that theory more than anything else I've ever seen in my life.
This seals the deal for sure. Kevin gets away and he's running down the street and basically leading them towards Central Park. He calls the cops, starts to lead Harry and Marv into Central Park, slips on some ice, and Harry and Marv catch up to him. They take him to Central Park, and Kevin is saved when the pigeon lady throws bird feed on Harry and Marv, causing them to get attacked by pigeons, and then the police get there soon afterwards and arrest Harry and Marv.
I do have to admit, I laughed pretty hard at Daniel Stern screaming when the pigeons were attacking him.
Okay. You say like Daniel Stern, the physical comedy is funny,
Mm-hmm.
but literally the screams,
Yes.
especially in this scene when he gets attacked by the pigeons, he's hilarious in these
Mm-hmm.
scenes. He's fantastic, and I mean, he shouldn't be in the scene because he should already be dead. But we'll suspend disbelief. He's still hilarious in the scene.
Yes, it's absolutely fantastic.
Yes. We cut to Mr. Duncan's toy store. He finds a note that Kevin attached to the brick he threw through the window that let him know that it was Kevin who tipped off the cops that caught Marv and Harry. We then cut to Kate looking for Kevin in the streets of New York City. She figures out that Kevin's at Rockefeller Center looking at the Christmas tree. And as Kevin makes a wish to see his mom again, his mother finds him. They apologize to each other for their argument earlier in the movie. They hug and go back to the Plaza Hotel.
Again. They apologize again. They wish to
Yes.
see each other again.
Again.
They get together again. They're happy again. Like, fuck off. Nobody's going to learn from this.
Yes. They're happy. They apologize. They're sorry until they're not.
Exactly.
Until the next thing.
Yeah, well, I mean, like, tomorrow they're going to blame Kevin for doing all of this. Like, Kevin ruined our Christmas. Fuck you. And guess what? They do, because that's like literally the first thing Buzz says after they find out that Duncan broke into the hotel room again.
Yes.
Like, the concierge and Duncan broke into the hotel room, and somehow with 14 people in a suite,
which, by
set
the
up
way,
an entire Christmas, like, not only like a beautiful Christmas tree and presents, they set up a fucking Town and Country magazine photo shoot of Christmas.
They get the suite at the Plaza Hotel. The suite has an upstairs. There are stairs to another floor, but yet the 18,000 people that the McAllister family have grown, they're like rabbits. There's now 38 of these fucking people, and they're all sleeping in the same bedroom, except for Kevin's mom and dad, who get their own separate suite. The fuck out of here. And nobody's sleeping in this luxurious family room that's set up upstairs, which gives Duncan and his elves, I guess, the elves from Jingle All the Way, they, break in and then plant all these presents because Kevin saved the day and donated $20.
Makes sense. Makes total sense.
I'm there for it.
How much money didn't the kids get at the hospital? Because Kevin needed a better Christmas because he saved the day and actually, did the right thing.
Yeah. And everybody's still gaslighting him, like shitting on him at the end of this fucking movie.
Oh, totally. And then how does he escape at the end too? Because he thinks about the bird lady and then just sneaks out.
He literally, because everybody, his whole family here is so like into, these are my presents. No, technically they're all Kevin's, so fuck you. And they're all toys, by the way, because the guy owns a toy store. So you got adults and Uncle Frank tearing into these fucking, what are you going to do with the fucking Xbox? And by the way, Duncan isn't selling Xboxes. He's selling shit that he made. Okay?
Yeah.
What are you going to do with the
Lincoln Logs and shit?
Yeah, what are you going to do with a fucking teddy bear? Okay? That's fucking stuffed like offset stuffing and the bear's all like irregular. What are you doing with that? So they're like, oh my God, presents. And he just fucking sneaks out to go see the bird lady.
Because he remembers what the turtle doves are for.
Yes. So, because Kevin here notices the turtle doves on the tree, so he sneaks out, finds Pigeon Lady, gives her one of the turtle doves in honor of their friendship, and the movie ends as Kevin gets yelled at for his room service bill.
Kevin, you spent $967 on room service.
So in the movie, he hands her the turtle dove, and he says, this is a symbol of blah blah blah. As long as you have this and I have this, we'll be best friends forever. Right? All that shit. She goes, oh, Kevin, this is just so amazing. And her spirit to be loved is renewed. Right? Pigeon Lady.
Yes.
So this is how this happens in real life. If you wouldn't mind, you play Kevin.
Hi, Pigeon Lady. Here's a turtle dove. This is to represent our friendship, and we'll be friends forever.
Oh, Kevin, I just shit me knickers because I'm a crazy fucking bog lady. That's how that happened.
Hell yes.
The fuck out of here that your best friend is now bag lady pigeon girl. That's so stupid. She is walking around with a newspaper diaper full of shit, feeding pigeons on a cold ass Christmas day.
Here's the
you're
thing.
Gonna be like, here's a turtle dove. Don't be homeless anymore.
This is how this ends. Like the last shot. This is Home Alone 2, right? The last shot should be Kevin and his family enjoying a Christmas together. And oh my God, because they lost you again.
Yep.
This is now this has become a thing. I've said it before. Don't let the thing become a thing. And if you don't let the thing become a thing, it won't be a thing. This is a thing now. They just lose Kevin. And in this movie, they lose him at the airport. They get to the hotel, can't find him there. And then they find him, and then they lose him again. Yep. They lose him twice in this fucking movie.
Yep.
Okay? So your last shot is Kevin and Pigeon Lady as he's getting yelled at because he just raked up a $900 bill for room service.
By the way, he didn't rack that up last night when you were all together under your nose. He did it to survive because he's a 10-year-old kid who doesn't know what he's doing. What did you want him to do? Go get ramen noodles for a week until you decided to show the fuck up?
Hey, Kevin, you couldn't order off the value meal at the value menu at McDonald's? The fuck you, Kevin? God damn. No, he's ordering room service from the Plaza Hotel.
Yeah.
That's what it's gonna be. Anyway.
I'm surprised he didn't think to take fucking to go to Burger King and eat all his meals where Pigeon Lady fucking showers in the sink.
But all in all, I mean, listen, the movie's still funny. It obviously has its flaws.
You were right.
John Hughes wrote this, just do better. This was obviously a cash grab. And even though Macaulay Culkin, Joe Pesci, Daniel Stern, Catherine O'Hara, John Hurt, they all do such a great job in this movie because they're all good actors and actresses.
Sure.
But the writing wasn't great. The plot wasn't awesome. I like that it took place in another city. I like the different situations, but you don't have to have Pesci and Stern in this one and whatever. All in all, though, it's a decent movie. You'll get some laughs out of it. But this isn't, like we always go back to, is this a Christmas staple? No. The first Home Alone is a Christmas staple.
Yeah.
This one is almost like an afterthought. You might watch on the 26th.
This movie makes me very happy that Macaulay Culkin got emancipated from his parents before they forced him to be in Home Alone 3.
Yes, absolutely.
That's literally all I feel about this movie.
I don't know if you've seen Home Alone 3.
No.
I don't remember it, but as I was going through and like selecting Home Alone 2 and the third one was there, and I went, they made a third one? And I saw it wasn't Macaulay Culkin, it was some other kid, and I was like, oh, you talk about cash grab. This one might have been a cash grab. That third one, they just, I don't know who was attached to it. I don't know who wrote it, who directed it, but you're just whoring yourself out at that point.
Oh yeah, that's straight to video. Money me, please.
Yes, absolutely.
That's all that is.
But
which to each their own. Fuck it.
No,
probably
I mean,
more
I guess
money off it than I am, but it's way worse than this movie, guaranteed. Yeah,
absolutely.
I'm watching Home Alone 1 every Christmas. I have zero problem with that. Home Alone 2, I'll pass. And whichever one of you sadistic bastards makes us review Home Alone 3, preempting it.
And we'll end on that note.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas, everybody. So for Corey, I'm Armando. This is Kiss the Reviews, and this was 1992's Home Alone 2, Lost in New York.